This video contains audio content only. There are no visual elements or images accompanying the audio. If you're expecting to see video footage, please note that this is an intentional audio-only presentation. We recommend listening to this content rather than watching the screen. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the audio. Hello and welcome, nature enthusiasts and bird lovers. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of sunbirds, those small yet dazzling creatures that brighten up landscapes across Africa, Asia, and Australia. In this video, we'll be exploring recent scientific research that sheds light on these remarkable birds, their behavior, ecology, and the challenges they face in our changing world. Sunbirds have long captivated both scientists and casual observers with their vibrant plumage, acrobatic feeding habits, and crucial role in ecosystems. As we delve into the latest findings, we'll uncover the intricate details of sunbird life, from their diverse species and distribution to their unique adaptations and ecological significance. Why is it important to stay updated on sunbird research? Well, these tiny birds are not just beautiful to look at, they're also key players in many ecosystems, acting as pollinators for a wide variety of plant species. Understanding sunbirds better can give us valuable insights into the health of our environment, the impacts of climate change, and the delicate balance of nature. Moreover, sunbirds serve as excellent model organisms for studying broader concepts in ecology, evolution, and conservation biology. The research we'll discuss today not only increases our knowledge about these specific birds but also contributes to our understanding of avian biology as a whole. In this video, we'll cover several exciting topics. We'll start by exploring the diversity of sunbird species and their distribution across different regions. Then, we'll look at how sunbirds fit into the broader avian family tree, examining their relationships with other bird groups. We'll delve into their feeding behavior and the crucial ecological roles they play, especially in pollination. Next, we'll uncover the fascinating world of sunbird nesting and breeding patterns, showcasing their unique reproductive strategies. We'll also examine the evolutionary adaptations that have allowed sunbirds to thrive in their various habitats, drawing some interesting comparisons with other nectar-feeding birds. Of course, we can't talk about sunbirds without addressing the conservation challenges they face and the efforts being made to protect them. Finally, we'll touch on the cultural significance of sunbirds and how they've influenced human societies in different parts of the world. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of the latest sunbird research, from their basic biology to their ecological importance and the conservation efforts aimed at protecting them. Whether you're a bird enthusiast, a student of biology, or simply someone curious about the natural world, this exploration of sunbird science has something for everyone. So, let's spread our wings and dive into the colorful, nectar-sweet world of sunbirds. Get ready to be amazed by the latest discoveries about these tiny yet mighty birds. 1. Sunbird diversity and distribution. Let's begin our sunbird journey by exploring the incredible diversity of these fascinating birds and their distribution across the globe. Sunbirds belong to the family Nectariniidae, which comprises a rich tapestry of species that have adapted to a wide range of habitats. Recent research has shed new light on the remarkable diversity within the sunbird family. Scientists have identified over 140 species of sunbirds, each with its own unique characteristics and adaptations. These species are spread across Africa, Asia, and even reach as far as northern Australia, showcasing the family's ability to thrive in various environments. In Africa, sunbirds have undergone an impressive adaptive radiation, resulting in a plethora of species that occupy diverse ecological niches. From the lush rainforests of Central Africa to the arid savannas of the East, sunbirds have evolved to exploit the specific resources available in each habitat. For instance, studies have revealed that sunbird species in mountainous regions tend to have longer bills, an adaptation that allows them to access nectar from deep, tubular flowers that are common in these areas. Moving eastward, we find sunbirds spread across the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. Here, researchers have uncovered interesting patterns in sunbird distribution. For example, some species show remarkable adaptability, occurring in habitats ranging from mangrove swamps to high-altitude forests. This adaptability has allowed sunbirds to colonize many of the islands in the region, leading to fascinating cases of island endemism. One particularly intriguing area of recent research has focused on the factors influencing sunbird distribution. Climate, of course, plays a crucial role. Studies have shown that sunbird diversity tends to be highest in areas with stable, warm temperatures and consistent rainfall patterns. This relationship between climate and sunbird diversity not only helps us understand current distribution patterns but also allows scientists to make predictions about how these patterns might shift in response to climate change. Another factor that has caught researchers' attention is the distribution of flowering plants. As nectar feeders, sunbirds are intimately tied to the plants they feed on. Recent studies using advanced mapping techniques have revealed strong correlations between sunbird species richness and the diversity of nectar-producing plants in an area. This research underscores the intricate relationships between sunbirds and their floral resources, highlighting the importance of preserving entire ecosystems rather than focusing on individual species. Interestingly, recent genetic studies have provided new insights into the historical distribution and movement of sunbird species. By analyzing DNA from different populations, scientists have been able to trace the evolutionary history of various sunbird lineages. These studies have revealed surprising long-distance dispersal events in the family's history, including colonization of isolated islands and even back dispersal from Asia to Africa in some lineages. One fascinating discovery relates to the limited distribution of sunbirds in Australia. Only one species, the olive-backed sunbird, is found in the northern parts of the continent. Recent research suggests that this species arrived relatively recently in evolutionary terms, possibly within the last few million years. This finding raises intriguing questions about the barriers to sunbird dispersal and the factors that have limited their spread in Australia. The study of sunbird diversity and distribution is not just an academic exercise. It has important implications for conservation efforts. By understanding where different species occur and what factors influence their distribution, conservationists can make more informed decisions about habitat protection and management. Moreover, this research contributes to our broader understanding of biogeography and the processes that shape species distributions. Sunbirds, with their well-defined family and clear ecological roles, serve as excellent model organisms for testing hypotheses about how animals spread and diversify across landscapes. As we conclude this section on sunbird diversity and distribution, it's clear that there's still much to learn. Ongoing research continues to refine our understanding of sunbird taxonomy, with new species still being described and relationships between species being clarified. Each new discovery adds another piece to the puzzle, helping us build a more complete picture of these captivating birds and their place in the world. 2. Relationship of sunbirds to other avian families. Now that we've explored the diversity within the sunbird family, let's zoom out and examine how sunbirds fit into the broader avian family tree. Understanding the evolutionary relationships between sunbirds and other bird groups not only satisfies our curiosity but also provides valuable insights into the processes of adaptation and convergent evolution. Sunbirds belong to the order Passeriformes, also known as perching birds or passerines, which includes more than half of all bird species. Within this order, sunbirds are part of a larger group called the Passeroidea, which includes familiar birds like finches, weavers, and sparrows. However, the exact placement of sunbirds within this group has been a subject of ongoing research and debate. Recent genetic studies have provided new insights into the evolutionary history of sunbirds. These studies suggest that sunbirds, along with flowerpeckers and the Southeast Asian spiderhunters, form a distinct clade or evolutionary group. This clade is thought to have diverged from other passerine lineages around 35 to 40 million years ago, during a period of global cooling and drying that led to significant changes in vegetation patterns. One of the most interesting aspects of sunbird evolution is their convergent evolution with hummingbirds. Despite being distantly related, hummingbirds belong to a completely different order of birds. Sunbirds and hummingbirds share many similarities in appearance and behavior. Both groups have evolved to feed on nectar, developing long, curved beaks and the ability to hover in front of flowers. However, recent research has revealed fascinating differences in how these two groups achieved their nectar-feeding adaptations. For instance, while both sunbirds and hummingbirds have brush-tipped tongues for nectar feeding, the structures are quite different at the microscopic level. Hummingbirds have developed a unique mechanism where their tongue acts like a tiny pump, while sunbirds use capillary action to draw up nectar. These differences highlight how evolution can produce similar adaptations through different pathways. Another intriguing area of research has focused on comparing sunbirds with honeyeaters, a group of nectar-feeding birds found in Australasia. Like the comparison with hummingbirds, this research has revealed both similarities and differences. For example, both sunbirds and honeyeaters have evolved the ability to hover, but honeyeaters generally do so less efficiently and for shorter periods. These comparisons provide valuable insights into how different evolutionary pressures can shape adaptations. Recent studies have also explored the relationship between sunbirds and more distantly related bird groups. For instance, comparisons with nectarivorous parrots and lorikeets have revealed interesting convergences in digestive physiology. All these nectar-feeding birds have evolved similar mechanisms for dealing with a high-sugar diet, including rapid sugar absorption and efficient water regulation. One particularly exciting area of current research is the use of genomic data to understand the genetic basis of sunbird adaptations. By comparing the genomes of sunbirds with those of other bird groups, scientists are beginning to identify the specific genetic changes that underlie traits like nectar feeding and vivid plumage coloration. This research not only helps us understand sunbird evolution but also provides insights into the genetic mechanisms of adaptation more broadly. The study of sunbird relationships also extends to their interactions with other bird groups in their ecosystems. Recent ecological studies have examined how sunbirds compete or coexist with other nectarivorous birds in areas where their ranges overlap. These studies have revealed complex patterns of resource partitioning, where different species specialize on different types of flowers or feed at different times of day. Understanding the evolutionary relationships of sunbirds has important implications for conservation. By recognizing the unique evolutionary history of sunbirds, conservationists can better prioritize protection efforts. Moreover, studying the adaptations of sunbirds in comparison to other nectar-feeding birds can provide insights into how species might respond to environmental changes. As we conclude this section, it's clear that the study of sunbird relationships is a dynamic and evolving field. Each new study adds to our understanding, sometimes confirming existing hypotheses and sometimes challenging them. This ongoing research not only enriches our knowledge of sunbirds but also contributes to our broader understanding of avian evolution and biodiversity. 3. Feeding behavior and ecological role. Now, let's dive into one of the most fascinating aspects of sunbird biology: their feeding behavior and the crucial ecological roles they play in their environments. Recent research has shed new light on the intricacies of sunbird feeding and its broader implications for ecosystem functioning. Sunbirds are primarily nectarivores, meaning they feed mainly on the nectar of flowers. However, recent studies have revealed that their diet is more complex than previously thought. While nectar provides the bulk of their energy needs, sunbirds also consume significant amounts of insects and spiders, especially during breeding seasons when they need extra protein. One of the most exciting areas of recent research has focused on the mechanics of sunbird feeding. High-speed video analysis has allowed scientists to observe the rapid tongue movements of sunbirds as they feed. These studies have revealed that sunbirds use a combination of capillary action and tongue deformation to draw nectar into their bills. This mechanism is different from that used by hummingbirds, highlighting the diverse ways that evolution has solved the challenge of nectar feeding. Interestingly, research has shown that different sunbird species have evolved various bill shapes and lengths to exploit different types of flowers. Some species have short, sturdy bills adapted for probing wide-mouthed flowers, while others have long, curved bills perfect for accessing nectar from tubular blossoms. This diversity in bill morphology allows multiple sunbird species to coexist in the same area by partitioning floral resources. Recent studies have also explored how sunbirds' energy needs influence their feeding behavior. Given their small size and high metabolism, sunbirds need to feed frequently to maintain their energy balance. Research using miniature tracking devices has revealed that some sunbird species visit hundreds of flowers each day, following regular feeding routes or traplines. One particularly fascinating discovery relates to the ability of some sunbird species to enter a state of torpor at night or during periods of food scarcity. By lowering their body temperature and slowing their metabolism, these birds can conserve energy when nectar is scarce. This adaptation allows sunbirds to survive in environments where food availability can be unpredictable. Now, let's turn to the ecological role of sunbirds, which extends far beyond their own survival. As they move from flower to flower feeding on nectar, sunbirds play a crucial role in pollination. Recent research has highlighted just how important this role is for many plant species. Studies using pollen analysis and DNA barcoding have shown that some plant species rely almost exclusively on sunbirds for pollination. These plants often have flowers with long, tubular corollas that match the bills of their sunbird pollinators. The relationship is so specific that changes in sunbird populations can have significant impacts on the reproductive success of these plants. Interestingly, recent research has revealed that sunbirds don't just passively transfer pollen as they feed. Some species have been observed actively grooming pollen from their feathers and depositing it on the stigmas of flowers. This behavior suggests a more active role in pollination than previously thought and raises intriguing questions about the cognitive abilities of these small birds. The pollination services provided by sunbirds have important implications for ecosystem health and biodiversity. By facilitating plant reproduction, sunbirds help maintain the diversity of plant communities, which in turn supports a wide range of other organisms. Recent studies in fragmented habitats have shown that the loss of sunbirds can lead to reduced seed set in certain plant species, highlighting the cascading effects that the decline of these birds can have on ecosystems. Moreover, the relationship between sunbirds and plants is not a one-way street. Recent research has explored how flowering plants have evolved in response to sunbird pollination. Some plants have developed flowers with colors that are particularly attractive to sunbirds, often in the red to orange spectrum. Others have evolved nectar with specific sugar compositions that match the preferences of their sunbird pollinators. An emerging area of research is investigating how climate change might affect the mutualistic relationships between sunbirds and plants. As temperatures warm and rainfall patterns shift, there's concern that the timing of flowering and bird breeding seasons might become mismatched. Long-term studies are now underway to monitor these potential changes and their impacts on both sunbird and plant populations. Another fascinating aspect of sunbird ecology that has received recent attention is their role in ecosystem connectivity. Because sunbirds can fly long distances, they can transfer pollen between plant populations that are spatially separated. This long-distance pollen dispersal is crucial for maintaining genetic diversity in plant populations, especially in fragmented landscapes. As we conclude this section on feeding behavior and ecological role, it's clear that sunbirds are far more than just beautiful birds. They are key players in their ecosystems, intricately connected to the plants they feed on and the habitats they inhabit. Understanding these connections is not only fascinating from a scientific perspective but also crucial for conservation efforts. By protecting sunbirds, we're also protecting the intricate web of life that depends on them. 4. Nesting and breeding patterns. Let's now turn our attention to one of the most intimate and fascinating aspects of sunbird biology: their nesting and breeding patterns. Recent research has provided new insights into the reproductive strategies of these charismatic birds, revealing a world of complex behaviors and adaptations. Sunbirds are renowned for their unique nest structures, which are often described as hanging purses or pouches. Recent studies have delved into the intricacies of nest construction, revealing that it's a more complex process than previously thought. Female sunbirds, who are typically responsible for nest building, carefully select a variety of materials including plant fibers, spider webs, and even human-made materials in urban environments. One fascinating discovery is the use of spider silk in nest construction. Researchers have found that sunbirds specifically seek out certain types of spider webs, preferring those that offer the right combination of strength and elasticity. This silk is used not only to bind the nest materials together but also to anchor the nest to its supporting structure, usually a thin branch or leaf. The shape and placement of sunbird nests have also been the subject of recent studies. Research has shown that nest design varies among species and can be influenced by factors such as local climate and predation pressure. For instance, some species in rainy areas construct nests with pronounced roofs that help keep the interior dry, while those in areas with many predators might build more concealed nests. Intriguingly, recent research has uncovered evidence of tool use in some sunbird species during nest construction. Observations have shown birds using their beaks to manipulate and shape plant fibers, and even using leaves as hammers to compact the nest material. This behavior adds to our growing understanding of cognitive abilities in birds and raises interesting questions about the evolution of tool use. Moving on to breeding behavior, recent studies have shed light on the mating systems of various sunbird species. While many sunbirds are monogamous, forming pair bonds that can last for multiple breeding seasons, researchers have discovered a surprising diversity of mating strategies within the family. Some species have been found to engage in cooperative breeding, where offspring from previous years help their parents raise new chicks. This behavior, which was previously thought to be rare in sunbirds, has been observed in several species, particularly those living in harsh or unpredictable environments. Researchers suggest that this strategy may help increase the survival chances of young birds in challenging conditions. Another interesting discovery relates to extra-pair copulations in supposedly monogamous sunbird species. Using genetic analysis techniques, scientists have found that in some populations, a significant percentage of chicks are fathered by males other than the social partner. This finding has important implications for our understanding of sunbird mating systems and the evolution of bird behavior more broadly. Recent research has also focused on the role of plumage coloration in sunbird breeding behavior. Many sunbird species exhibit striking sexual dimorphism, with males sporting bright, iridescent feathers while females are often more dully colored. Studies using spectrophotometry have revealed that these colors are not just for show. They play a crucial role in mate selection and territorial defense. Interestingly, researchers have found that the brightness and color of male plumage can be indicators of individual quality. Females seem to prefer males with more vibrant colors, which are often associated with better health and genetic quality. This selection pressure likely contributes to the evolution and maintenance of the dazzling plumage we see in many sunbird species. The timing of breeding in sunbirds has also been a focus of recent research, particularly in the context of climate change. Long-term studies have shown that some sunbird species are adjusting their breeding seasons in response to changing temperatures and rainfall patterns. However, there's concern that these adjustments may not be happening fast enough to keep pace with rapidly changing environmental conditions. One fascinating area of study has been the energetics of breeding in sunbirds. Given their small size and high metabolism, raising chicks represents a significant energy challenge for sunbird parents. Recent research using miniature accelerometers has revealed that breeding birds increase their daily energy expenditure by up to 50%, pushing them close to their physiological limits. This high energy demand during breeding has important implications for sunbird ecology and conservation. Studies have shown that the availability of high-quality food resources during the breeding season can significantly impact reproductive success. In areas where natural habitats are being degraded, sunbirds may struggle to find enough food to successfully raise their young. Another intriguing aspect of sunbird breeding biology that has received recent attention is nest parasitism. Some sunbird species fall victim to brood parasites, particularly cuckoos, which lay their eggs in sunbird nests for the hosts to raise. Recent research has uncovered fascinating adaptations in both the parasites and their sunbird hosts, including egg mimicry by the parasites and egg rejection behaviors by the hosts. Researchers have also been investigating the development of sunbird chicks, from hatching to fledging. Using miniature cameras placed near nests, scientists have been able to observe the rapid growth and development of young sunbirds in unprecedented detail. These studies have revealed that sunbird chicks grow incredibly quickly, often fledging within 2 to 3 weeks of hatching. This rapid development is accompanied by remarkable changes in physiology. Recent research has shown that young sunbirds undergo significant changes in their digestive system as they transition from a diet of regurgitated insects provided by their parents to one dominated by nectar. Understanding these developmental processes is crucial for conservation efforts, particularly in cases where hand-rearing of orphaned or rescued chicks may be necessary. As we conclude this section on nesting and breeding patterns, it's clear that the reproductive biology of sunbirds is a complex and fascinating field of study. From the intricacies of nest construction to the challenges of raising chicks in energy-demanding environments, sunbirds have evolved a range of strategies to ensure their reproductive success. This research not only enhances our understanding of these charismatic birds but also provides valuable insights into broader questions in avian biology and ecology. 5. Evolutionary adaptations and convergence. In this section, we'll explore the fascinating world of sunbird adaptations and the remarkable cases of convergent evolution observed between sunbirds and other nectar-feeding birds. Recent research has provided new insights into how sunbirds have evolved to thrive in their ecological niches, and how similar environmental pressures have led to comparable adaptations in unrelated bird groups. Let's start with one of the most striking features of sunbirds: their bills. The diversity of bill shapes and sizes in sunbirds is a testament to the power of adaptive radiation. Recent studies using 3D morphometric analysis have revealed how bill shape correlates with dietary specialization. Species that feed primarily on insects tend to have shorter, broader bills, while those specializing in nectar from deep, tubular flowers have evolved long, curved bills. Interestingly, researchers have found that bill shape can evolve relatively quickly in response to changes in food availability. Studies on island populations of sunbirds have shown that bill morphology can change significantly within just a few generations when birds colonize new areas with different floral resources. Another crucial adaptation in sunbirds is their ability to hover while feeding. While not as specialized as hummingbirds in this regard, many sunbird species can remain stationary in the air for short periods, allowing them to access nectar from flowers that can't support their weight. Recent biomechanical studies have shed light on how sunbirds achieve this feat, revealing adaptations in wing shape and muscle structure that enable efficient hovering flight. One of the most fascinating areas of recent research has been the study of sunbird tongues. Using high-speed cameras and micro-CT scanning, scientists have uncovered the intricate structures that allow sunbirds to efficiently extract nectar from flowers. The tongue of a sunbird is a marvel of biological engineering, with a brush-like tip that can spread into a wide surface area to maximize nectar uptake. Comparative studies have revealed striking similarities between the tongue structures of sunbirds and those of other nectar-feeding birds like hummingbirds and honeyeaters. This is a classic example of convergent evolution, where unrelated groups have evolved similar solutions to the challenge of nectar feeding. Moving beyond physical adaptations, recent research has also focused on the physiological adaptations that allow sunbirds to thrive on a nectar-rich diet. Studies on sunbird metabolism have revealed that these birds have exceptionally efficient sugar absorption mechanisms, allowing them to process large quantities of nectar quickly. Moreover, sunbirds have evolved specialized kidneys that allow them to excrete excess water rapidly, a crucial adaptation for birds that consume large volumes of dilute nectar. Comparative studies with other nectar-feeding birds have shown remarkably similar kidney structures, another example of convergent evolution. One particularly interesting area of recent research has been the study of sunbird vision. Like many birds, sunbirds have tetrachromatic vision, meaning they can see in the ultraviolet spectrum in addition to the colors visible to humans. Recent studies have shown that this ability plays a crucial role in flower recognition and mate selection. Fascinatingly, researchers have found that many flowers pollinated by sunbirds reflect UV light in patterns invisible to the human eye but clearly visible to sunbirds. This suggests a co-evolutionary relationship between sunbirds and their food plants, with each adapting to the other over millions of years. The iridescent plumage of many male sunbirds has also been a subject of recent research. Studies using spectrophotometry and electron microscopy have revealed that these colors are produced by complex nanostructures in the feather barbs. These structures interact with light to produce the dazzling, metallic colors we observe. Comparative studies have shown that similar nanostructures have evolved independently in other groups of birds, including hummingbirds and birds of paradise. This convergent evolution of iridescent plumage raises intriguing questions about the selective pressures driving the evolution of bright coloration in birds. Another area where sunbirds show remarkable adaptations is in their ability to enter torpor, a state of decreased physiological activity typically characterized by a reduced body temperature and metabolic rate. This adaptation allows sunbirds to conserve energy during cold nights or when food is scarce. Recent research using thermal imaging cameras has provided new insights into how sunbirds regulate their body temperature during torpor. Studies have shown that some species can lower their body temperature by more than 10 degrees Celsius, significantly reducing their energy expenditure. Comparative studies with hummingbirds have revealed striking similarities in torpor patterns, another example of convergent evolution in these distantly related nectar feeders. As we conclude this section on evolutionary adaptations and convergence, it's clear that sunbirds represent a fascinating case study in evolution. Through a combination of adaptive radiation and convergent evolution, these birds have developed a suite of adaptations that allow them to thrive in their ecological niches. From their specialized bills and tongues to their efficient metabolisms and ability to enter torpor, sunbirds showcase the incredible power of evolutionary processes to shape living organisms. Moreover, the similarities between sunbirds and other nectar-feeding birds like hummingbirds and honeyeaters provide a compelling example of how similar environmental pressures can lead to the evolution of similar traits in distantly related groups. This convergent evolution not only tells us about the history of these birds but also provides insights into the fundamental principles governing evolutionary processes. 6. Conservation challenges and efforts. As we've explored the fascinating world of sunbirds, it's crucial that we now turn our attention to the conservation challenges these birds face and the efforts being made to protect them. Recent research has highlighted several threats to sunbird populations, but has also pointed towards potential solutions. One of the primary threats to sunbirds is habitat loss. As human populations expand and natural areas are converted for agriculture or urban development, many sunbird species are losing the forests and shrublands they call home. Recent studies using satellite imagery and GPS tracking have quantified the extent of this habitat loss in several key sunbird ranges, revealing alarming rates of deforestation in some areas. Climate change represents another significant threat to sunbirds. Research using climate modeling techniques has predicted that the ranges of many sunbird species may shift or contract as temperatures rise and rainfall patterns change. Of particular concern are montane species, which may literally run out of habitat as they're pushed up mountains by warming temperatures. Interestingly, recent studies have shown that not all sunbird species are equally vulnerable to these threats. Researchers have found that species with more specialized diets or habitat requirements tend to be at greater risk. For example, sunbirds that rely on specific plant species for nectar are more vulnerable to habitat changes than those with more generalist feeding habits. Another threat that has received recent attention is the illegal pet trade. In some parts of their range, particularly in Southeast Asia, sunbirds are captured for sale as caged birds. Recent investigations have revealed the scale of this trade and its impact on wild populations, leading to calls for stronger enforcement of wildlife protection laws. On a more positive note, recent years have seen an increase in conservation efforts aimed at protecting sunbirds and their habitats. One approach that has shown promise is the establishment of protected areas specifically designed to conserve sunbird diversity. Studies have shown that well-managed protected areas can maintain healthy sunbird populations, even in regions where habitat loss is widespread. Another innovative conservation strategy involves working with local communities to promote sustainable land use practices that benefit both people and sunbirds. For example, research has shown that shade-grown coffee plantations can provide valuable habitat for sunbirds while also providing income for farmers. Projects promoting such wildlife-friendly farming practices are now underway in several sunbird-rich regions. Habitat restoration is another key area of conservation effort. Recent studies have demonstrated that degraded habitats can be rehabilitated to support sunbird populations. Researchers have identified key plant species that are particularly important for sunbirds, allowing restoration efforts to be targeted for maximum impact. Urban areas, surprisingly, have emerged as potential havens for some sunbird species. Recent research in several Asian cities has shown that parks and gardens can support significant sunbird populations if they're planted with appropriate nectar-producing plants. This has led to initiatives encouraging sunbird-friendly gardening in urban and suburban areas. Captive breeding programs have also played a role in sunbird conservation, particularly for critically endangered species. Recent advances in our understanding of sunbird nutrition and breeding behavior have improved the success rates of these programs. In some cases, captive-bred sunbirds have been successfully reintroduced to the wild, offering hope for species on the brink of extinction. Citizen science has emerged as a powerful tool for sunbird conservation in recent years. Projects enlisting the help of amateur birdwatchers to monitor sunbird populations have provided valuable data on species distributions and population trends. These projects not only contribute to scientific understanding but also help to raise public awareness about sunbird conservation. Technological advances are also aiding conservation efforts. The use of miniature GPS trackers, for instance, has revealed previously unknown migration patterns in some sunbird species, information that's crucial for designing effective conservation strategies. Similarly, the use of environmental DNA techniques is allowing researchers to detect the presence of rare sunbird species in areas where traditional survey methods might fail. One particularly exciting area of recent research involves investigating the ecosystem services provided by sunbirds, particularly their role in pollination. By quantifying the economic value of these services, researchers hope to strengthen the case for sunbird conservation. Studies have shown, for instance, that sunbirds play a crucial role in pollinating economically important crop plants in some regions. As we conclude this section on conservation challenges and efforts, it's clear that while sunbirds face significant threats, there's also reason for hope. The growing body of research on sunbird ecology and behavior is informing more effective conservation strategies. Moreover, increasing public awareness of these beautiful birds and their importance to ecosystems is helping to build support for conservation efforts. However, it's also clear that protecting sunbirds will require ongoing effort and collaboration between researchers, conservationists, policymakers, and local communities. As we continue to learn more about these fascinating birds, we must also work to ensure that future generations will have the opportunity to marvel at their beauty and importance in nature. 7. Cultural significance and human interactions. As we conclude our exploration of sunbird research, let's turn our attention to a fascinating aspect that bridges the world of science with human culture: the cultural significance of sunbirds and their interactions with human societies. Recent studies in the fields of ethno-ornithology and environmental anthropology have shed light on the various ways sunbirds feature in human cultures across their range. In many African cultures, sunbirds hold a special place in folklore and traditional beliefs. Recent ethnographic studies have documented a wealth of stories and myths featuring sunbirds. In some traditions, these birds are seen as messengers between the human world and the spirit realm, their iridescent plumage symbolizing their ability to traverse different planes of existence. Interestingly, researchers have found that traditional ecological knowledge about sunbirds often aligns closely with scientific findings. For instance, in several cultures, the appearance of certain sunbird species is used as an indicator of seasonal changes or impending weather events. Recent studies comparing these traditional phenological indicators with long-term climate data have found a high degree of accuracy in many cases. The relationship between sunbirds and humans extends to the realm of traditional medicine as well. Ethnopharmacological studies have documented the use of sunbird feathers, nests, and even whole birds in various traditional remedies across Africa and Asia. While the efficacy of many of these treatments remains unproven by Western scientific standards, researchers are investigating whether some of these traditional uses might point towards novel bioactive compounds. In the realm of art and aesthetics, sunbirds have long been a source of inspiration. Recent art historical studies have traced the depiction of sunbirds in various artistic traditions, from ancient cave paintings to contemporary wildlife art. The brilliant colors and graceful forms of sunbirds have made them popular subjects for artists across cultures and time periods. One particularly interesting area of recent research has focused on the role of sunbirds in environmental education and conservation awareness. Studies have shown that these charismatic birds can serve as effective flagship species, helping to garner public support for broader conservation efforts. Educational programs featuring sunbirds have been found to be particularly effective in fostering positive attitudes towards nature among children. The interaction between sunbirds and human-altered landscapes has also been a subject of recent study. Research in urban and agricultural areas has revealed that some sunbird species are remarkably adaptable, able to thrive in gardens, parks, and even on balconies of high-rise buildings. This adaptability has led to interesting dynamics between sunbirds and city dwellers. For instance, studies in several Asian cities have documented the phenomenon of people setting up nectar feeders to attract sunbirds to their homes. While this practice can provide supplementary food for the birds, researchers are also investigating potential negative impacts, such as the spread of diseases at crowded feeding sites. In the realm of ecotourism, sunbirds are becoming increasingly popular attractions. Recent studies have examined the economic impact of sunbird watching tourism in several countries, finding that it can provide significant income for local communities. However, researchers also caution about the need for responsible tourism practices to minimize disturbance to the birds and their habitats. An emerging area of research involves the use of sunbirds as indicators of ecosystem health and environmental change. Long-term studies tracking sunbird populations and behavior are providing valuable data on the impacts of climate change and habitat alteration. In some regions, changes in sunbird migration patterns or breeding times are among the earliest detectable signs of broader ecological shifts. Linguistic studies have also revealed interesting insights into how different cultures perceive and categorize sunbirds. Research comparing bird names across languages has found that in many cultures, sunbirds are linguistically grouped with other nectar-feeding birds like hummingbirds, despite their distant evolutionary relationship. This suggests a universal human tendency to classify animals based on ecological roles rather than evolutionary relationships. As we conclude this section, it's clear that the relationship between sunbirds and human cultures is rich and multifaceted. From their role in traditional beliefs and practices to their growing importance in conservation and ecotourism, sunbirds continue to captivate human imagination and play important roles in human societies. This cultural dimension adds another layer of complexity to sunbird conservation efforts. It highlights the need for conservation strategies that not only protect the birds and their habitats but also respect and incorporate the cultural values and traditional knowledge of local communities. Recent research has emphasized the importance of community-based conservation approaches that integrate scientific knowledge with local cultural practices. Studies have shown that conservation projects that involve local communities and respect traditional relationships with sunbirds tend to be more successful and sustainable in the long term. As we wrap up our exploration of recent sunbird research, let's take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways and consider the broader implications of what we've learned. First and foremost, our journey through the world of sunbirds has revealed the incredible diversity within this family of birds. From their wide-ranging distribution across Africa, Asia, and Australia to the variety of species adapted to different habitats and ecological niches, sunbirds showcase the power of evolutionary processes to generate biodiversity. The intricate relationships between sunbirds and their environments, particularly their role as pollinators, underscore the interconnectedness of ecosystems. The research we've discussed highlights how the health of sunbird populations can be an indicator of overall ecosystem health, emphasizing the importance of holistic approaches to conservation. Our exploration of sunbird feeding behavior and adaptations has provided fascinating insights into the mechanisms of evolution. The convergent evolution observed between sunbirds and other nectar-feeding birds like hummingbirds and honeyeaters demonstrates how similar environmental pressures can lead to the development of similar traits in unrelated species. This not only enhances our understanding of evolutionary processes but also highlights the remarkable adaptability of life on Earth. The complex breeding and nesting behaviors of sunbirds remind us of the intricate strategies that animals have evolved to ensure their reproductive success. From the elaborate nest construction to the diverse mating systems observed across different species, sunbird reproduction offers a window into the myriad ways that animals navigate the challenges of passing on their genes. Our discussion of conservation challenges facing sunbirds brings to light the broader issues of habitat loss, climate change, and human impact on natural ecosystems. The research we've explored emphasizes the urgent need for conservation efforts that address these challenges at multiple scales, from protecting specific habitats to implementing global strategies to combat climate change. At the same time, the innovative conservation approaches we've discussed, such as community-based conservation and the integration of sunbird protection into urban planning, offer hope for the future. These strategies demonstrate how scientific research can inform practical solutions that benefit both wildlife and human communities. The cultural significance of sunbirds across different societies reminds us that conservation is not just about preserving biodiversity for its own sake, but also about maintaining the rich tapestry of human-nature relationships that have developed over millennia. The research into traditional ecological knowledge and the role of sunbirds in various cultures highlights the importance of integrating diverse knowledge systems in our approach to understanding and protecting the natural world. Looking to the future, the study of sunbirds opens up exciting avenues for further research. From delving deeper into the genetic basis of their adaptations to investigating how they might respond to future climate scenarios, there's still much to learn about these fascinating birds. Moreover, the research techniques and approaches used in sunbird studies have broader applications in the field of ornithology and beyond. From the use of miniature tracking devices to study bird movements to the application of genomic techniques to understand evolution, sunbird research is contributing to methodological advancements that benefit the wider scientific community. As we conclude, it's clear that sunbirds are more than just beautiful creatures to admire. They are key players in their ecosystems, important subjects for scientific study, and significant elements of human cultures. The research we've explored not only enhances our understanding of these remarkable birds but also contributes to our broader knowledge of ecology, evolution, and conservation biology. For those of you watching this video, I encourage you to take a moment to appreciate the sunbirds in your local area if you're lucky enough to live within their range. And even if you don't, consider how the lessons learned from sunbird research might apply to the birds and other wildlife in your own backyard. Remember, every observation you make, every question you ask, has the potential to contribute to our understanding of the natural world. Whether you're a professional scientist, a dedicated birdwatcher, or simply someone curious about nature, you have a role to play in advancing our knowledge and protecting our planet's biodiversity. I hope this exploration of sunbird research has sparked your curiosity and maybe even inspired you to learn more or get involved in conservation efforts. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others who might be interested. And don't forget to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspectives on sunbirds and the research we've discussed. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the colorful, nectar-sweet world of sunbird science. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your mind open to the wonders of the natural world.